There was someone way back in elementary, someone spit on my face and then punched me. I am a graduate of architecture. Yeah. So this is my book, Soul Echoes. I view myself as a perfectionist. So you don't want to value yourself based on grades or ranking or something. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I am Anthony. I am skies are crying. I am watching. So definitely, if you're watching this, thank you for saving my life.
A lot of you, my viewers, should hit that subscribe button because we're gonna give you good and wonderful content in the future. I promise you, I will be inviting great speakers around Cebu, and you will hear their stories one day, and you'll never regret subscribing to this channel. Anthony,
Hey, Carl.
tell me something about yourself.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much for having me. So, I am Anthony. I am Leiteño. I was born and raised in Leyte. Specifically, I was born in Ormoc and then I was raised in Isabel. And then I studied in Tacloban. And now I am here for almost 3 or 5 years in Cebu. I am an artist at heart. And by artist, I mean I paint, I doodle, I write. I also sing sometimes. And yeah, I am also a published author under 8 letters. And currently, I have a book. I have a poetry book that was released last September of 2023 by 8 letters.
8 lattice?
Yeah, 8 letters is the name of our publishing house. It is owned by Miss Cindy Wong. She's also a writer and a author also, and she has this big dream of promoting Filipino authors and Filipino writers globally. So I am privileged that I belong to that publishing house.
Cindy Wong.
Yeah, Cindy Wong.
Hi, Cindy Wong. Welcome to the podcast. So, I think we should leave the links in the description for that.
You can check 8 letters publishing social media on Instagram and on Facebook. You just have to search 8 letters. And you can go, or you can check 8letters.com to check our books. Basically, all the poetry, the fantasy, and also some prose. Not just poetry, but we have also novels and prose. And all of them are Filipino authors.
I see. Okay. So, does this company, are you an employee or?
Nope. So funny thing is, the one time last year I was in Park Mall. Are you familiar sa Mandaue? Uh, I went there to have a grocery, and then eventually I saw this parang my art fair, and then I'm not sure if it was an art fair, but I see plenty of people. I saw plenty of people rush over, yeah, rush over the lobby and the aisle, and I got curious, and then I saw a lady, and she was smiling at me, and she approached, "Hey, do you want to buy our books?" And I was so awe inspired by the book covers alone, and there are plenty of bookmarks also. And then, unfortunately, I have no budget yet to buy those books. But she just smiled and told me it's okay if you can't buy one. If maybe you know someone, if maybe you know someone who writes or who loves to write, you can refer him or her to us. And then I was like, oh, I write too. I write too. Well, and then she told me that maybe you can submit your manuscript to us. Here's our email. And then I went home with the calling card. I submitted my manuscript. I have this collection of poems and essays. I submitted it to Miss Cindy. And after like 2 weeks, I got a response or a call back and said, "Hey Anthony, we love your work. We want to publish it." So I'm not an employee. It's a sort of a partnership, something like that.
So what work was that? What project was that they love it?
This one, that book, Soul Echoes.
Can you show it to your audience?
Yeah, so this is my book, Soul Echoes, Poems of Self-Discovery and Triumph. This is a collection of my poetry that I wrote since I was 7 until
7
Yeah.
years old. My God, Anthony. Are you a child wonder?
I don't know, maybe. So the first poem that you read here is "I Want to Write a Book" in chapter 1. I wrote this when I was 7, and at first I cringed when I read it, and then eventually over time, especially in high school, I rewrote it until it improved. So basically, this book is a coming of age story. It composed of 3 chapters. The first chapter is all about my curiosity in life as a high school or as a kid, and then on chapter 2 is my college life, where I was so confused about many aspects of my life, whether it's religion, my faith, my sense of self, my sexuality, and my artistry. And then the third chapter is the conclusion about the conclusion of my story, wherein I went here in Cebu and I thought that I could find myself. Well, if you read my book, you can see a sense of coming home. To finally, I finally came home to myself. So that's all. This is my book. So it's more about a coming of age story.
So stay tuned, guys, to the end because Anthony will read a portion of this book.
Yeah.
So if everyone's listening, and well, stay tuned. So I will say 3 words and briefly tell me something about it.
Okay. Wait, I'm nervous. Okay.
So I'll start with your childhood days.
Childhood. I was a very introverted kid. To tell you honestly, I have a few friends. My mother and my father, and also my grandparents, especially my lolo, and were not confident of me being friends with other kids because they know my capabilities socially. So I was usually at home, painting or drawing stuff, or at my grandmother's garden. But I have a few friends, especially
Painting? Excuse me. Painting? How old are you?
3.
Painting 3 years old?
I mean, maybe just watercolor. I'm not a pro. It's just something I don't know.
You painted at 3 years old
Yes.
and wrote a poem at 7 years old?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Well, because I don't tell myself a socially awkward kid, but like I get socially drained easily. As introverts, as I really want to make friends, but there's something in me that I couldn't relate to other kids. Like if I want to play with them, I usually get bullied because I was different. There are things that I do not understand, but eventually I understand now. Yeah. So like most of the kids, especially the boys, love to play basketball. I knew a little about basketball when I was a kid. I was trained by my uncle, but it was really not for me. For me, my type of fun is reading books, painting or drawing, and then writing. When I discovered writing when I was 7, so I was really different. So
How did you discover writing? Like,
well, it was amazing because I didn't have TV growing up. We were poor. I didn't know that we were poor. My father had this treasure trove on the second floor. He built this this long wooden treasure trove that is full of books, and that is my only entertainment. And then right after class, I would grab one of those books, and I was inspired. Like I want to be like Mitch Albom. I want to be like Daniel Steele, even Jose Rizal. and I want to be like J.R.R. Tolkien, like how he wrote the Lord of the Rings or something like that. And then when I saw a little notebook, which is from my older sister, I was awe inspired. I was shocked. Like, oh, she wrote poems. And then the way she wrote it, it was so eloquent, and I want to be like that. I want to be like her. And then I didn't return her notebook for a week just to study how she wrote poetry. And then I was only 7 at that time, because I had no friends. So my only friends were, aside from my cousins, were my pen, paper, coloring materials, nature. Yeah.
A quick word from our sponsor, Enspace. If you are looking for a co-working space, just go to Enspace at IT Park. I assure you, their rooms are great and you have free coffee and internet.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't
Of course,
regret
it
it,
is
but
fun. Yeah.
I really wanted to have friends, but I couldn't really. Yeah, it was difficult, but I had fun.
Okay, so teenage years.
Teenage was very confusing because I grew up religious, and I know for a fact that in my religion, I was raised Catholic by my parents, I should only be attracted to one gender. But there was one thing deep inside me that it's something that wasn't my choice. That I was attracted to people that are same, a guy. And then I got confused because I am also attracted to this girl. I want to chase this girl. So it's more of like a my teenage years was more of a questioning, doubting myself, and I was really ashamed because I never knew then. This is a very explicit topic because I don't want children to experience this. Because of my shame, one way of expressing my shame is I cut my wrist in secret and I starved myself because I was so ashamed that I get attracted to guys. So it was difficult for me at that time, and knowing the pressures, like my parents are known to be a godly, like to be super religious, and then my older siblings are known to be academics, like achiever. So I have to be good as them. So the pressure is really high. I have to be just like them. And if ever there's a one scandal, like for example, if they will know that I'm attracted to these or to other guys, it might bring reputation to my family. So it was really hard. And one way of putting my shame was cut my wrist, and it wasn't really healthy. And I didn't know any idea. I have no idea about mental health during that time. So it was my teenage years. As much as I want to say it was fun because I gained a few friendship, but it was very confusing and very dark.
Were you bullied because of your situation, or your point of view about life, about love?
Um, I wasn't really expressive about my attraction, but I was bullied because whenever I hang out with my classmates, I I'm just silent. So like, why are you like this? Why don't you want to want to socialize? Or whenever guys want to play basketball, I couldn't join them because I get drained easily. It's not really like, I don't know. So I would rather spend my time alone in the lobby, drawing, or maybe hang out with the introvert friends also. So
Because those years, nobody really
yeah, I
understand about
understand about the
that kind of
sexual.
situation.
Yeah.
If you're in that situation, most probably they will call you like overacting or selfish.
It was also difficult because I wear a mask. I'm an honor student, so, and also a student leader. So I was also a student leader, and I want to impress my family. I know we were poor, and I have to be academically inclined to uplift the reputation of my family. So I have no idea that I was bisexual. There was no bisexual word that I discovered during my teenage years. So being gay or being queer or being bisexual was not something that I chase, but I chase of like perfection as a son and as a student. I want to impress my classmates, my teachers, my parents, my family. So all of that pressure was keep making me insane. Yeah.
Adulthood.
Adult adult is, aside from fun, I would say that adult is very challenging. Like, as much as I want to say I want to go back to being a child because my only words are to impress my parents. And right now, I am very grateful about the things that happened to me. But being adult is really hard, especially living in a capitalistic world or in a country where you know what's happening here in our country. So, but aside from that, I already know myself better than I was. So it's more I'm more comfortable being me, but financially wise, I'm still getting there. I want to talk more also about the book because it's so like what I told you earlier. It's a therapy for me because um, I I view myself as a perfectionist, and I don't know. The pressure was not really from my parents. Actually, it's just from me. I knew in my heart that we were poor, and I knew that my older siblings were very smart. So I have to emulate this smartness. I have to emulate this intelligence from them. So I want to challenge myself to be just like them. But oh, when when I was in college, those things didn't matter. Those things didn't matter. So my mind kind of shifted, like from being an consistent honor student from kinder to high school, and then when I went to college, like like these grades really don't matter anymore. Learning for me, like practical learning. I am a graduate of architecture. Yeah, so more of the grades don't really define the architects, but it's the learning. And as a creative myself, just like you're also a creative, right? So you don't want to value yourself based on grades or ranking or something. Like, it's more of how you value yourself, what you've learned from your craft. So something like that. And this book summarizes it all, that I finally came home to myself.
So how many books have you written so far?
So far,
Since 7 years old.
since no I mean, since I was 7, I didn't plan to write a book. It's just my way of therapy, way of
Yeah.
coping. So I couldn't express myself verbally, as it's written there in the foreword of my or in the synopsis of that book of Soul Echoes. So I couldn't express myself verbally when I was a kid. So writing was very easy for me. Like, there are emotions that I couldn't speak verbally to my parents, but through writing I can freely express what I want to express. So it's therapy. So how many books? I Soul Echoes is the first official published book that I have, but I am still writing. You know about the fantasy book that I am still writing, right? Because we were classmates in the writing workshop.
Yes,
What
yes.
can you say about about my my draft?
It was exciting, and hopefully you could publish it so that everyone can read it as well.
Yeah. Well, it will take a long time though because it's Filipino inspired,
Yeah.
Filipino mythology inspired. So I need to consult a lot of historians and people who are um, um, people who are really masters about Filipino mythology. Yeah, I don't want to disappoint historians. I might get bashed.
So this this book, Soul Echoes.
Yeah.
Your target audience are
My target audience are to all, especially to all the kids, especially teenagers, and even young adults who are struggling to find themselves. Whether you are queer, whether you're part of the LGBT, or whether you are straight, regardless of your sexuality, gender, your religion, this book is for you. If you can relate that, if you are confused about yourself or about life, or let's say, for example, um, you are so you're so overwhelmed about what's happening, then this might be a good book for you to read.
Well, you know what? I have nothing against about LGBT.
Yeah.
My uncle is gay. My teacher is also gay, and they are really good person.
Thank you for saying
Honestly,
that.
yeah. So I don't really judge them.
Mm,
But most companies right
mm.
now, they use LGBT as a marketing tool.
Like a bait.
Yes,
A bait.
because they know that
Yeah.
whether you're LGBT or not,
Yeah.
they will support that. So
Yes.
what can
Right
you say
now.
about that? For me, it's just so unfair. Like they're using your terms LGBT
Yeah.
so that they can just buy their products.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying. For me, I don't buy that. Even I myself, it's so funny that this book is categorized in Shopee as LGBTQ book, because personally, this is not just about my sexuality. This is about my childhood, how I make terms with my traumas as a child and even as a teenager, and during my college, how I overcame with heartache, breakup, and how I overcame with finances and poverty. Yeah, it's something like, and also my struggles with my spirituality, because I was so confused about my religion. I also said that in the book, how I finally realized what's best for me and for my soul. That's why it's soul echoes, because it echoes it echoes my soul to another soul, so especially to the souls who are unconventional, who are confused about themselves and about life in general. So I don't really buy that bait about LGBTQ marketing, because I myself, I'm bisexual, but I don't market this as LGBTQ book. This is a book about kids who are alone, who feel like they don't belong in a society or in the world in general. This is for you because you're like me, and to tell you honestly, you're not alone.
Exactly. And what can you say to those people or to those children who have experienced in an abusive environment? What can you say to them that was it worth it for you, like slicing your wrist or what?
No, for me, it isn't worth it. But as what I always have in mind, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So you just have to keep the faith. And the bravest thing for me is to ask for help. Really, like there is nothing wrong with asking for help, because no man is an island, and even in my book, I couldn't finish it with just me alone. I need a publisher. I need a proofreader to correct, and how I survive my mental health. I even consulted a therapist, mental health professionals, and friends and loved ones, so that I can overcome them. So if you are watching this, and if you were like me, where you were bullied or you were abused in a very toxic environment, ask for help. Like, there we have hotlines, national hotlines, that I went through all of that. Like, when I was alone crying and my family didn't know, and I saw I saw on the internet that we have this national mental health hotline. I immediately called. And also, one person that really inspired me, I know that she has a lot of controversy right now, but Demi Lovato, she is such a role model, especially growing up, because she was bullied also. And when I was bullied, I looked up to her. So when you see a person that you want to emulate, just keep listening to their music, read their books, and be inspired. And just know that there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
So that's here in Soul Echoes.
Yes. I even thank Demi Lovato at the
Oh,
end of the
really?
book. Yes.
Demi, if you're watching,
Hopefully.
well, actually, you can
Yeah.
you can say
Demi, if you're watching this, thank you for saving my life. I was really heavily bullied. Like, there was someone way back in elementary, someone spit on my face.
really.
Yes. And then punched me.
My God.
Yes. That very brutal. Yeah. And then when I discovered the story of Demi Lovato, how she was bullied, like she was locked in a locker room
Hold on. That's here in Philippines.
in uh,
Which area that you were bullied?
in Leyte.
In Leyte.
Yeah. Like somebody spit on me,
Oh
a
my
kid
God.
spit on my face because they think that I'm a freak. I was a freak because who wouldn't think that I'm not? I don't. I didn't have plenty of friends. So, yeah.
And then after that, Demi Lovato. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I knew Demi Lovato in Disney. But when she released her song Skyscraper and then she shared her story about bullying, I was so inspired and I was gravitated towards her story, and from that day forward, it became my lighthouse. So, the tunnel was like my bullying story, but Demi Lovato was my lighthouse. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
She's such a great inspiration in your life.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Since we're talking about Demi Lovato, I want you to read something in this book of yours,
Mm,
a poem or what,
no.
especially for you want that you want to say something to Demi Lovato
Okay.
through this poem. I know you are familiar with that, so I want you to read it.
Yeah. There is this one poem that is inspired from the song Skyscraper. Like, the first verse says, "Skies are crying, I am watching." So, Loud as Thunder, I wrote this when I
Demi,
was.
are you listening?
So,
Okay, Demi, are you listening? If you are, this one is for you.
so, this is my story of how I overcame my bully. So, the rain is slowly pouring. I can't help but do the same. I'm just tired of pretending, too tired being enchained. Go ahead and tear me open, you, or you can crush me. Hit me until I'll be shaken. You can break me. Just know I'll never surrender. I will be the loudest thunder, emptied by your selfishness, but I will stand no matter how hopeless. I can't read them all because it's too long, but that's inspired from the song Skyscraper. Like, I just have to rise. Like, the rain is slowly pouring, like, skies are crying.
Oh my God. Those words just comforted me, honestly. I just wish and I just pray that.
In chapter 2, I think, it's Loud as Thunder. Actually, it's actually a song now.
I just wish and pray that people can buy your book.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is this already here in fully booked?
My hope is that my publishing house will put it in fully booked. They have plans. They are still slowly, getting there, and it's already in Shopee, in Lazada, in Eight Letters Books website, and even in TikTok.
Oh my God.
Hopefully, it will be in fully book and in National Bookstore. Yeah.
Yeah. If Demi is listening and is gonna tweet that, well, you know what's gonna happen.
And yeah, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we're it's over. We have this tradition. The previous person who was seated there wrote a question for you. So I did not read the question.
Okay.
I just read it now. Okay. So I don't know what was these questions. How did you become so confident with what you're doing?
I become confident. Well, that's first of all, that's an amazing question. But the thing about confidence is that you never know if it's fake or not. You just have to fake it till you make it. That is my motto way back in high school. I wasn't really that 100% confident, but I was faking my confidence so that eventually I can make it like true confidence. So over time, I get to realize that nobody really cares about what I'm doing. I don't care now that I'm cringe. I don't care about what other people think of me. I mean, of course, I care, but the negative critics, like I should care about um, the critical, the subjective or the good criticism. But what makes me more confident is I am now aware of myself. I've been through a lot, and because of that, also reflection. Like you need to have at least an hour or 15 or 30 minutes to reflect about your life, because if there's no reflection, then there's no confidence.
Like, do you do meditation on your reflection or what?
Yeah, meditation, but it's more of like you're alone or you have a notebook or a journal, or even you don't have a notebook or a journal. You talk to God or you talk to the universe, or to yourself, irregardless. You just have to
Or if you
evaluate.
have a cat, you can talk to your cat.
Yeah. You evaluate your life. Like you ask yourself deep questions like, why am I still here? What's really my purpose? And what are the things that I need to improve so that I can have a better life? So if you ask that to yourself and you can spend more time about yourself, then confidence will eventually grow.
And just answer this with 1 or 3 words. What is your reasons to greatness?
Reason to sorry?
Reasons to greatness.
1 to 2 reasons to greatness.
That's our podcast.
That's our point. Reasons to greatness. 3 words, right? Because people are good.
Amazing. Anthony, thank you so much.
Thank you for reaching to the end of the video, and I just want to thank our sponsors by LPH, the best flowers out there, the best flower shops in Cebu. And also, thank you Cleos for the wonderful crinkles. And I tell you, crinkles, if you are looking for the best crinkles, you can only find it in Cleos. These links are in the description below, so grab your crinkles now, grab your flowers, and thank you